From Ikata yesterday, the Bishop of Boya, His Lordship Michael Bibi, was at Bafia today for his 2024 pastoral visit. In Bafia today, he calls on his Christians and the community to prioritize prayer and remain humble towards each other. Priests of the Diocese of Boya are at this time already in Kumba Diocese, where they will be clashing with their counterparts in a return leg match tomorrow Friday in Fiango. And health experts in the southwest region continue raising concerns over the situation of malaria in the region, calling on all to be aware of the dangers of malaria. This as the global community commemorates World Malaria Day. Those stories and more will be yours in the minutes right ahead. Good evening, dear TV friend. You're welcome to the Primetime News on the Divine Mercy Radio Television. This is the last but one edition of the Primetime News for this week. Christians of St. Patrick Parish, Bafia, have been encouraged to make prayers as a priority and also be generous and humble and loving towards one another. The call was made by His Lordship Michael Bibi during a one-day pastoral visit he made to Bafia, and this took place this Thursday, April 25, 2024. We have Joseph Otop, who accompanied His Lordship to Bafia. He has compiled this report for our Primetime News.
It was with songs of joy and praise that the Christian community of St. Patrick's Parish, Bafia, and other denominations welcomed His Lordship Michael Bibi on a one-day pastoral visit this Thursday, April 25, 2024. Being one of the communities affected by the socio-political crisis hitting the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, these Christians turn out at Mass to commune and celebrate the sacrifice of Mass. Presiding at this Mass, Bishop Michael encouraged all to keep prayers as one of their watchstick and beckon on all to carry the virtue of humility, thereby be able to willing to serve one another. Receiving his bishop for the first time as a parish priest, Father Franklin Jua expresses his joy and has these words of encouragement.
We received our Lord Bishop, Bishop Michael Bibi, to this community. And it is my first time in my priestly ministry to receive him as parish priest. So I'm indeed happy and grateful to him, first of all, for giving me the chance to be a parish priest in a community of this nature. So it has been a wonderful experience, and I pray and thank God for this particular chance to become a priest or a parish priest in this community. Thank you to Bishop Bibi, and to also, in my own little way, tell him ahead with his pastoral ministry, especially with the encouragement he gives us as priests to do the work, especially in this locality, which is a bit challenging, but with his constant support and constant visit, it has been light for us.
Christians present at this celebration as well say they are happy receiving their bishop once again.
I feel in mind so pleased. Yes, I feel by embracing the bishop for all the wonderful things that he has done to this community. And we are still praying that he should be highly projected with the Spirit of God. Yes, because if God is not there, it means that bishop is not inspired. Yes, and we are really appreciating his effort that he should not relent. Yes, because there are many things we believe that we'll achieve through the bishop, this community of Bafia. The only word of encouragement I have for the bishop is only to give him that praises and glory so that God might always guide him for his kindness.
Wonderful. Bafia, the entire population of Bafia, they are very happy. And you see this population here, these are not only the St. Patrick's Parish Christians. They are the entire Bafia community is in this parish today. And we are very happy for the support which the bishop has been supporting this entire community and even the parish also. The words of encouragement which I can give to our bishop is just thanks and prayers. We don't have nothing to give our Papa Bishop. The only thing is to pray for him so that his shepherd his flocks well.
Appreciating the water project of Bishop Michael, the disciplinarian of Bafia community says this has helped them.
Following the water project is, in fact, is really something that is determinable. It's making the population to become alive. That the population is very happy to see Bishop BB here again, and even right up to the secondary school level, to make us to know that we shall be having a secondary school in Bafia by the next academic year. So we thank him and we appreciate him, and we are behind him to see that in fact, we encourage him and push forward to him to see that all his projects will go ahead.
These pastoral visits saw the blessing of some CMA members and a promise from the bishop to fully complete the water project in the locality.
Meanwhile, yesterday, April 24th, the bishop was on a similar mission to the crisis-hit Ikata. The Christian community of that area, that is St. James Parish, Ikata, welcomed the chief shepherd of the diocese for his 5th pastoral visit to their community. The event had started with a Holy Mass where the bishop stressed on the need for peace and justice within the community. John Philip Wanla reports this time around.
In his 5th pastoral visit to Ikata Parish in the Miyuka Deanery, His Lordship Bishop Michael Bibi, this day, Wednesday the 24th of April 2024, spent the day with the Christians of Ikata, encouraging them as far as their Christian lives are concerned. An area that has not reconciled with the socio-economic hardship that has plagued the community, His Lordship is welcomed by the community of Ikata as they offered him a peace plant, which they all waved with songs of welcome marching along the road leading to the St. James Parish, Ikata. Upon arrival at the main parish grounds, His Lordship is welcomed with a bouquet of flowers from a little girl.
His Lordship Michael Bibi, the Bishop of Boya Diocese, welcome to St. James Parish, Ikata, and we wish you a wonderful stay with us.
During his sermon, he made an ardent call on all for the need of peace to reign in the community, and given that if there is no peace, there will be no justice.
Ikata, I think, is the only parish where anytime I visit them, one of the gifts that they give me, that the gift of peace plan. And I remember that very first, this is what make them here. They will give me that peace plan. And all we know very well. So every day with the prayer, with the beg God, so may God He make peace a day for the angel. We know so we don't struggle. We know so it's not easy. We know so we see great challenges there. So my dear brothers and sisters, we must pray for number one place to make justice evolve inside the society.
The parish priest is overwhelmed with this visit and cannot but overemphasize his joy.
I feel so happy today having this guest of honor and august guest, the bishop and his entourage, who made their way today for a pastoral visit, a long-awaited visit. I have had sleepless nights, and especially yesterday, I have not had any sleep in my eyes, waiting to see the dawn of this day and how activities are going to unfold themselves. I feel very happy because the bishop's visit every year in our parish and all over the parishes in the diocese brings a lot of hope, a lot of light, a lot of reawakening to the Christians. And one thing which is so touching about him is this, that he is so down and too connected with the people that he smells, in the words of the Holy Father, he smells like the sheep.
Ikata bag riders, personal friends of the bishop, appreciate what His Lordship Bishop Bibi has been doing for them.
For all the times that we don't encounter it, we don't realize and say all over we don't get na blessing. And from which we will be demanding for our Lord Bishop for last year, we will be demand a bike, and it be blessed we with a bike. So this bike, it be the work now on the terms of balance and take, in the sense say we go give am for one rider, that rider work, he balance the money, we buy another one for another rider. We since as he be blessed with that bike that time, now the union don't buy na 2 bikes. Now we it dey for some of the rider we use them now. We after this program we go show make it pour a blessing too for the bike.
While looking forward to receiving them on the 29th of June 2024 at the Co-Cathedral for the diaconal ordinations, as Muyuka Deanery leads the liturgy, His Lordship invites them to come in their numbers.
Many thanks, John Philip Wanla, for putting together that report. Priests of the Diocese of Kumba and those of Buea have wrapped up their last training sessions as they prepare to clash tomorrow for the return leg football encounter in Fiango Kumba. Fans, supporters are in high spirit as they await the match, which shall begin this Friday at 10 a.m. in Fiango Kumba. The football encounter is aimed at creating an avenue of communionship in the priestly ministry. Father Alphonse Ekema gives us update on how the final training session unfolded in both dioceses.
Final touches in preparation for the encounter between the priests of Kumba and those of Buea this Friday, April 26th at St. Francis Kumba have set all in motion as the priests of Kumba once more visit the field of play to ensure a complete understanding among the players and prevent a home defeat where the expectation of the multitude of supporters seem to be gaining an uncontrolled increase. Notwithstanding, the coach of Kumba, Father Edmond Sonne, keeps it real with DMR TV when he makes a fair assessment of his players from their last training session.
It's going to be an interesting encounter. Our level of preparedness now is about 25%, given that most of our players are coming from the suburbs and with the road network, difficulties in transport, movement, other stuff like that. So initially we have been having sessions with priests in Kumba environ, and so we have much problems with those coming from the suburbs. But generally speaking, those within have been trying so much to see to it that we put our feet on the decks. And I think we are 25% gone. I'm very hopeful though. And it's going to be a beautiful encounter. We are so hopeful and it's promising. We are not afraid, but I believe we can make it. And I trust my players.
The highly anticipated game has made the priests take on lots of preparatory encounters to ensure a smooth victory. Down south in the Diocese of Buea, the priests equally embarked on a 4 p.m. football encounter last Tuesday with the staff of CUIB that proved to be a tough one as the Nets kept a record of very modest attempts that ended in a 3-2 victory for the Catholic University Institute of Buea staff. The excitement in some camps remains to once more enjoy the veteran tactics of some of the older generation of priests, while others are piously waiting to see what the younger generation of priests are going to bring into the game. In the meantime, all roads lead to Fiango in Kumba, where the encounter will be highly witnessed at 10 a.m. Spirits are high from both camps and no one knows what to expect as both teams are yet to impress their supporters with some novelty in their style of play after their training sessions carried out so far.
And everyone look forward to that match that will be played tomorrow in Fiango Kumba. As the Diocese of Buea prepares to celebrate 75th anniversary come 2025, construction works and finishing touches continues on some projects in the Diocese of Buea. Visiting these projects, reporter Joseph Otop tells us that work is progressing steadily on these projects. He has this update in this report.
On the foot of Mount Fako, in the heart of the Diocese of Buea, are various ongoing projects like the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, the Bishop Pius Awa Memorial Pastoral Center, a diocesan hall, a convent which in the nearest future will be a place for leisure and spiritual upliftment. At the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral Parish Moliko, finishing touches continue to go on, one of which is a whitewashing of the interior walls and addition of some benches, Thanks to the hard work put in place by the workers on board, His Lordship Michael Bibi and collaborators as well as Christians of goodwill. In addition to these diocesan projects, the completion of a portion of the second building of the Curtin Edge Bishop Pius Awa Memorial Pastoral Center, the first of its kind in the diocese, is moving at a fast rate as the roofing level has begun and the placement of tiles in some rooms, which will afford Christians in and out of Buea a place for meetings and spiritual development. With the multipurpose hall and convent, the contractor explains work done so far and what next.
Presently, you can look at the hall now. The hall is waiting for roofing. The hall has some delays in materials, that's why we have not started the roofing, because about 2 weeks we requested for materials. We are waiting for it. The supplier sent us some pictures today. If things go well, by tomorrow, Friday, we'll have the materials. Then the roofing will definitely start Monday. For the convent, at least it's really going progressively. There are no difficulties in the convent as of now. I'm really hoping before Bishop gave me the projects, he gave me a deadline of June ending. So I'm really working towards that, to make everything possible to hand him the projects by June ending.
To the diocesan project coordinator, measures are being put in place to ensure the completion of the hall and convent.
So we are going to do the same exercise for the Congress Hall and also for the convent and the chapel. It means that we are going to list all the activities with their time frame and the number of workers that we need on site, so that by either July or August, we should be done for the chapel, the convent, and the Congress Hall.
When all is said and done, it is hoped that these projects of the diocese will be used conducively and effectively by not only Christians of the Diocese of Buea, but the entire community.
We now leave the confines of the church to talk something else. Human rights, health equity, and gender equality are the phrases that championed this year's theme for World Malaria Day. The day is set aside to educate the public on the dangers of the killer disease while encouraging all to join the fight against malaria. Aloysius Likia from our news desk talked to a health expert and in the following report situates the southwest region as concerns the fight against malaria. His report.
Malaria still remains the #1 tropical disease that the World Health Organization and governments across the world are struggling to fight and eradicate. These organizations have for years been fighting the deadly disease, but the eradication is far from over. Reasons why the World Health Organization, through its partners and governments across the world, are through sensitization, treatment, and most recently vaccination, are leaving no stone unturned towards combating this disease. The severeness of this deadly disease even makes it to have a day set aside to educate people towards its danger and methods to prevent it. Every 60 seconds, a child across the world dies of malaria. The theme for the World Malaria Day 2024, celebrated each year on the 25th of April, is accelerating the fight against malaria for a more equitable world. The regional coordinator for the fight against malaria for the Southwest region threw more light on this year's theme, which touches on health equity, human rights, and gender equality.
This year's theme, advancing gender equality, health equity and human rights, and the slogan, accelerating the fight against malaria for a more equitable world, is relevant not only globally but also in the population of Southwest region. Why advancing gender, why health equity, why human rights, why gender equality? Health is a fundamental human right, including the health of the population of Southwest region. And malaria, being one of the commonest disease burdens that we have, is a threat to the rights of the population of Southwest region and the world. So, you see that it's important to fight malaria for us to gain positive trends to human rights, everyone has the right to health.
The Southwest region has in the past years recorded thousands of malaria cases, especially in children 0 to 5 years old and pregnant women who are at high risk. The coordinator situates the rate of the fight against malaria in the Southwest region and says the region still have a heavy burden as concerns the disease.
In Southwest region, the burden of malaria now is still quite high, as the recent surveys that were done to reveal that 1 out of every 3 children that were tested in the community had malaria. We want to leave the community and come back now to the health facilities. We realize that we still record many cases of malaria in the Southwest region. 1 out of every 5 cases that consult in the health facilities is because of malaria. And there are thousands of diseases out there. It's true that a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, you can remember we were 1 out of every 3 cases in the health facilities. But now we are 1 out of every 5. So as far as health facilities is concerned, we are making progress. But the surveys that are being done show that in the community, the burden is still very high.
In a bid to intensify the fight against this killer disease, the World Health Organization has made groundbreaking discoveries through vaccines that helps in the fight against malaria, such as the RTS, R21 and the Mosquirix that was recently introduced in the country. The health expert once more says this vaccine is safe and encourages all to receive the vaccine.
We are happy to celebrate the successes that we've had with the Mosquirix vaccine in the Southwest region. We were thinking that we're going to have too much vaccine hesitancy. But since it's occurring in the clinics, the parents are taking their children for vaccination. And even the few who come and they are reluctant, when they see others take 1 or 2 doses and they realize that no, the children are doing well, they become very positive. So I wish to say that the response is quite good in the Southwest region. Many more women are coming for their vaccines. But the challenge is, just as we have other vaccines, we are having dropouts.
Should be noted that though you treat yourself from malaria, sleeping under a treated mosquito bed net remains the #1 and most effective way of preventing malaria. Let's together push out this deadly disease.
And women and girls in Buea and beyond have been called upon to actively participate and empower themselves in ICT or in the ICT sector. The call was made by Dr. Felicitas Mokum, Vice President for Academic Affairs, Research and Cooperation of CUIB, as the world commemorates the International Girl in ICT today, April 25, under the theme Leadership. Nadeshme took interest in this International Day. She went out and brought back this update.
Under the theme Leadership, the International Girl in ICT Day continues to be of crucial importance to the International Communication Union, most specifically the Telecommunication Development Bureau. Fostering a greater presence of girls and women in the tech sector is much needed, especially in the designing of developmental digital tools and platforms. That is why the Tech Development Communication Bureau launches this initiative to encourage the participation of women and girls in ICT at all levels.
The International Girls in ICT Day is one of those initiatives that has been taken to bring more awareness to making sure that we have somewhat of a gender balance in some of the STEM fields. So this day is meant to get girls more interested in STEM, get girls more interested in the field.
She further emphasized that this year's theme focuses on leadership, and it is a way for the international community to recognize and support girls everywhere to become leaders in the society.
I think we are in a much better position now than ever to fill that gap, because we know that now with the advent of online learning, online work and all of that, women are more able to work from home, be able to carry out some other activities even while performing these roles in leadership. So I think that it will give them more opportunity now than before, when being on site to get everything done used to be the norm.
One of the main reasons for this gender divide is the lack of encouragement in the mentorship to empower girls in developing their skills in the different fields of ICTs like mathematics, graphic designs, coding, among others.
Another aspect is coding. Girls will not want to spend much time on coding like guys would. But I would like to advise that there is also designing, right? There is graphic designing, there is UI and UX designing, UX and UI designing. There is much more system architecture and so much more that they could look into aside coding, which is more technical and logical.
Dr. Mokom Felicitas beckoned the women and girls in Buea and beyond to make a valuable change in the society and deliver change capable of impacting the society they are living, especially through digital.
I always think that fields that involve logic, reasoning, critical thinking are really meant for women. That's what I tend to think. And I think that it's a great opportunity for women. The way we teach tech, even here at CYB, we really try to demystify the whole field. And the field itself is so broad. There's so many different facets of it. So you might see a programmer, you might see a cybersecurity specialist, you might see somebody in AI, but the field is broad enough to accommodate you as a woman. Even when you're not that strong in mathematics, you can still make it in different areas in IT.
To pursue these leadership roles in developing the necessary skills, network, and to successfully achieve their objectives, girls across the globe are advised to take up the challenge and engage themselves in ICT.
And that does it for the Primetime News. Just before we go, let us remind you of our top stories. From Ikata yesterday, the Bishop of Buea, His Lordship Michael Bibi, was at Bafia today for his 2024 pastoral visit. In Bafia, he calls on Christians and the community to prioritize prayer and remain humble towards each other. Priests of the Diocese of Buea are at this time already in Kuba Diocese, where they will be clashing with their counterparts in a return leg football match tomorrow Friday in Fiango. And health experts in the southwest region continue raising concerns over the situation of malaria in the region, calling on all to be aware of the dangers of malaria. This as the global community commemorates World Malaria Day. Thanks for paying attention to all the stories we have given you this evening. Catch us tomorrow for yet another edition of the Primetime News. Good night.